We now come to something very important, which is essential as to how a website actually works, how it navigates, and that is adding a menu. So I already have pages here. I have already put in pages, and I'm going to show you how to actually add pages to that in just a minute when I do something else. But for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Menu and Anchor here, and I'm just going to take any one of these because, again, I'm going to repeat this. These tutorials are not about designing things, they are just about understanding how Wix actually works. So I'm going to open this header so that we can see what we're doing much more easily. So when you drag a menu onto the page, onto the header rather, obviously, then it will automatically show you all of the pages that you already have here on this website. Now, when we go down here, there's this thing here that says Manage Pages. Then we have these two pages, which are just things for me to play around with. So I'm going to hide these from that menu. That's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm just going to go here and say Hide. And I'm going to do the same with this one. I don't want anyone else to see these. They're just for me, like archives or libraries or playgrounds or whatever. And so those are hidden now. And what will happen is if I go to preview, there won't be anything on these other pages, but just to show you, when I click, we are just going to go to different pages which look exactly identical right now because there's nothing on them. Let's go back to home. Let's actually do this now. I'm going to add just some stuff onto these other pages so that we can actually see how we're navigating. I'm just going to go to the free Wix images, and I'm just going to add whatever. It doesn't really make any difference. All I need is some kind of something that shows me that I am navigating from page to page. So I'm going to go to this other one again, go here, and just take this one and just plop it down. And then I'm going to go to this one here, and again I'm just going to put an image. This one here. I just picked the first three because, again, I repeat this, I can't repeat this often enough. This is not a tutorial about designing a page, it's just a tutorial about finding out how Wix works. Now let's do this again. Let's just go back to home. And boom, boom, boom. So that's the basic navigation. What you do is when you create your site, you just go to Manage Pages, and then you create a new page. Now I'm going to create a page. I just go down to Add Page, and they give you all kinds of templates. Don't fall for any of it. You'll have a nightmare getting rid of all the stuff that's on them. You just go here to Blank Page, and it'll just give you a blank page. Now I'm going to just call this Ekran Screen. Okay. Now as soon as I added this page, it actually appeared here, and I'm going to add another one, another blank page, and that I'm going to call Telephone. Now in terms, and here it is, in terms of the content of this website, if we just go here for a minute and I show you one of the ones that I have here where the content is actually all there. Let's just wait a sec. If I go here, now this is the page where I'm talking about social media and TV, okay, and how harmful they are and so on and so forth. So what if I wanted to actually separate this content into two parts, the TV and the phone, and or have a starting page that looks like this, but then I want to separate, create sub-pages that where I go in detail into screen usage and phone usage. Okay, so let's go back to here. Now what I can do is, here's the page that says I have an excuse. That's the one, that's this one right here. So I'm just going to take this here and drag it in here into this below this mazeretim bar, but I'm going to pull it in to the right just a little bit, and now it has become a sub page to this one. We can't see that here yet, it's disappeared from the menu here, but it's actually a sub page, and I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Pull it down and then pull it to the right so that it becomes a sub page. Now let me go to phone and add another stupid image here just so that we see that things have changed. And let me now go to the one that says screen and add the fifth stupid image, which will just tell us that things have changed, that we have actually gone from one page to the other. So I'm just going to get a preview now again. Now when I go to mazeretim bar here, now we have the sub pages. So I can click here and we have something else, and then I can click here and we have something else, and if I click here then we have something else, and that's how the menu and the sub pages on the menu actually work. Now you could, however, also do this differently. If you want to have a non-clickable headline on the menu, what I would do in that case is I would add a folder. So hold on, this has actually gotten below that thing. I don't want that to happen, so I'm just going to add a folder now again. So now this is open, and I'm just going to call it folder. Actually, I'm not even going to change it. Now what would happen if I took these two pages here and put them inside that folder? So I'm just going to do that now, and this one too. Now they have disappeared from the menu, as you can see. Now let's give this another preview. Now when I click on folder, I can't click this. This is not clickable, but I can click the sublinks. So there are two ways of doing it. You can have a clickable page under which you have sublinks, like we have here, or you can have a menu item, a headline that is not clickable, where you can only go to the subpages from there. And that's essentially how the menu system at the top works in Wix. In order to be able to continue to make things a little bit more clearly visible, I have changed some things. I have removed that background image that we had. I made the header narrower again. Now let's look at anchors. Now the menu at the top will let you navigate from page to page to page to page. However, if you have a long page like this one here, well, it's not particularly long, but longish, there could be much longer pages, then you would also probably want to have a kind of system where that would allow you to go from one section of that page to another. So in order to do that, we go to menu and anchor, and we go to anchors. So anchors right here, and then I'm just going to take this and just drag it onto here, and the minute I drag it, it's actually going to ask me to change the name, which I will. Then I'm just going to add a few more, because I need to have a few more in order to be able to see, to explain to you how this works. So let me just rename this social media, and then let's put another one here which says alışkanlık, which basically means addiction, and then let's put another one here which we're just going to call yankı odası, which means echo chamber in Turkish. So now we have stops on this page. That's what these are. They are stops. But how do we go from one to the other? Well, we use what we call an anchor menu. So I'm just going to drag this onto here. It will automatically snap to the center of the page, and it's telling me which anchors I have on it. So that's all very good. Now on the right hand side here you will see a push pin, which is green, and it shows us that it is pinned to the screen. Now on Wix you can pin any element at all, onto the screen, onto a particular location in the screen. Now the good location for anchors is not usually, but always the right, because as your website becomes narrower, when people view it on narrower browsers, then the content will automatically move to the left. So you want to keep the right side for the anchor, because that will be the side that will stay more clear. It will not interfere with the content. Now you can pin something to the bottom, to the top, or the middle, but then you can also bring it more in, which in the case of an anchor you wouldn't want to do, because you wouldn't want it to interfere with the content of the page on a narrower browser. But then you can also move it up or down, which I'm not going to do. I'm just going to leave it in the middle here, and so you can adjust this. Now this looks horrendous, the design, as does the menu, and normally of course we would be redesigning all of that. We would be changing the fonts. If I click on design here, and if I go to customize design, I can change the colors, I can change the text, which right now is a grotesque text, a very fat one. Obviously I wouldn't be using that. I would use something much more elegant, and something that also fits the rest of the identity of the site. But I'm going to leave all of that exactly as it is right now, because like I can't repeat this often enough, these little tutorials at the start here are not about design. They are actually about learning how Wix works. So now we have the anchor menu and we have the anchors. So if I click on the different parts of this anchor menu, it will actually go to the different pieces. So let me go to the top of the page now, and then let me go all the way down, and it'll just move right down to there. And that is how anchors work. So you have two navigational systems. One of them is for the entirety of the site, and that's the menu at the top here that goes from page to page to page. And then inside each page we have the anchor menu, we have the anchors, the stops that we place wherever we want these links to go, and then we have the anchor menu that actually takes us there. So that's it for the navigation, and I'll see you in the next one.